Hi, my name is Frederic Casagrande. I am the PMO manager for Nawah Energy Company, and I'm here today to tell you why my team is the best PMO in the world. But before we start, I need to tell you a bit more about the country we operate in and about nuclear energy. This type of energy is very different from any other. Nuclear power plants don't burn anything to create energy. Instead, they split atoms of enriched uranium-235 in a clean process called fission that doesn't release carbon or any other pollutants in the air. When an atom of uranium is bombarded by a neutron, it is broken into several fission products. Neutrons that may trigger more fission reactions and a massive amount of heat. A nuclear reactor is said to become critical when you generate a sustainable chain of fission reactions. The thermal energy is released from the fission reaction. It heats up the cooling water, generating steam. The pressure from the steam generator sets a turbine in motion, transforming thermal energy into mechanical energy. The turbine then turns a generator that transforms the mechanical energy into electrical energy that will then go power the grid. The energy is stored in nuclear fuel consisting of solid pellets of uranium oxide. One 10-gram pellet packs as much energy as 3.5 barrels of oil, or 1 ton of coal, or roughly 500 cubic meters of natural gas. Uranium is an abundant metal, but it must undergo significant processing before the enriched powder can be pressed into fuel pellets. One 4-meter-long fuel rod is consisting of 300 pellets lined up. 236 rods make up one fuel assembly, and there are roughly 241 of those assemblies into a nuclear core, packing the equivalent in energy of 17 million tons of coal. There is another element that makes the nuclear industry unique. Even after you shut down the core, it will continue to generate a lot of heat from the decay process until there are no more fission reactions. It can take up to 5 years for a used fuel assembly to cool down enough to be safely transferred in a dry concrete and steel cask. This is what makes managing projects in the nuclear world unique. The United Arab Emirates, or UAE, is a small country located at the southeast end of the Arabian Peninsula. Since its independence, 2nd of December 1971, and over the past decades, the nation has grown significantly under the leadership of Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, and its demographics are quite unique in that a widely diverse expatriate population largely outnumbers a rather small local population of Emirati citizens. The population of the country has grew from roughly 1 million in 1980 to nearly 10 million in 2018. And one of the side effects of this tremendous growth was a dramatic increase in the electricity demand. Since 2008, this has led the country to start evaluating the only power source able to meet the challenge of such a demand, nuclear energy. In 2009, the UAE launches their peaceful nuclear program, establishing the Federal Authority for Nuclear Regulation to regulate the nuclear sector in the country, and the Emirates Nuclear Energy Corporation to deliver the program. In December 2009, a $20 billion bid is awarded to a Korean consortium for the construction of the first nuclear power station in the region, with 4 APR 1400 nuclear reactors to be built on the site of Baraka. Now, fast forward to 2016, a joint venture is established between INEC and their Korean partners KEPCO to safely operate the station. Nawah Energy Company, the world's newest nuclear operator, is born. The Strategy, Projects and Controls Division, among the functions transferred from INEC to Nawah, was first established in 2013 to plan, execute and control the operational readiness program of work. The Program Management Office Manager reports to the Vice President of Strategy, Project and Controls, who reports directly to the Chief Executive Officer. Being so strategically positioned in the organization demonstrates Nawah's commitment to project management excellence by showing the criticality project management disciplines have on the delivery of such a complex program of work. Currently set at a headcount of 11, the PMO has a good mix of permanent employees and supplemental contractors, enabling us to cope with an ever-changing volume of work until the 4 units of the power plant are online and producing electricity. Our demographics also truly represent the diversity of the Nawah workforce. We currently have citizens of Nigeria, South Africa, United Arab Emirates, Pakistan, Russia, France, the United Kingdom, and the Philippines. And in the past 2 years, the PMO also counted team members from India, South Korea, Spain, and Canada. The PMO interacts with the whole organization at large, first and foremost through our functional domains, but also through a host of other initiatives that aim at breaking silos across the enterprise and its landscape of hundreds of contractors and subcontractors. To name a few, we have set up the weekly alignment meeting in November 2016 to support a more effective method of communication from the leadership to the rest of the organization. This meeting has since then grown to a rather large event that is managed by corporate communications and assembles all the head of departments and above to cascade down critical information and escalate key feedbacks and concerns from all the teams. We have also set up a corporate Toastmasters club that was chartered on 1st April 2017 to help improve our workforce English proficiency and to develop our leaders' ability to effectively present to medium to large audiences. The Toastmaster curriculum on leadership and public speaking are fully integrated with our own project management capability framework. Since its chartering, the club has won every possible award from Toastmaster International and has enabled some key personnel to grow significantly. As an example, the Masters of Ceremony of most of the large corporate events are selected from the ranks of our club. We are also intervening in the Corporate Leadership Academy, where we coach and mentor leaders of the organization on some aspects of effective communication and project management. Last but not least, we have set up a project management community of practice to regroup all practitioners from the organization at large within INEC and Nawah to share best practices, discuss common challenges, and align our ways of conducting business to reach peak effectiveness. This was launched in 2018 and has already helped diverse groups within the organization to improve their own project management approach, and it has created a bond beyond organizational silos. The PMO does not manage the construction aspects of this program. Rather, our focus is on operational readiness. Simply put, we need to ensure that a large, we're talking 2,746 employees, multinational and multicultural organization, we're talking about 50 different nationalities, is able to safely operate a relatively young technology, the APR 1400, in a country with harsh weather conditions that is new to nuclear. The specificities of nuclear power added to the unique fabric of our organization and the country we operate in makes for an unprecedented landscape. What is being achieved here has never been done before, and because of that, the mission statement of the PMO is even more important: to enable a successful delivery of projects and programs through implementation of PMO best practices. Our main objective is to improve the project management capability of Nawah, to increase the predictability of project outcomes and improve business results, of course. But above all, as nuclear professionals, we help the organization to protect the core. By continuously improving organizational project management maturity, by establishing a comprehensive and robust project governance, by creating a project delivery success culture through capability building, mentoring, and coaching. First of all, we gained adoption by creating a very simple project management framework that follows the project lifecycle as described in the PMI project management body of knowledge. Each project management phase or process group, as per the PMI terminology, has one and only one implementing procedures, so that it is as simple as possible for the end user to execute. On this diagram, you can also see a yellow box labeled Change Management. It describes another implementing procedure peripheral to the project management framework that governs the assessment of all impacts of a change on the organization. This is typical to the nuclear industry, and it is a prerequisite to any project initiation. The other concept that is widely adopted in the nuclear industry is a graded approach, and we have implemented it in our project management framework. During the initiation process, a project's complexity scoring matrix is filled, and by answering a handful of very simple questions, we assess whether the project falls into one of the three tiers: bronze, silver, or gold. Each tier will have its own criteria for decision-making, reporting requirements, governance and controls, and level of support. In terms of governance, Nawah uses an accountability model called GOSP for governance, oversight, support, and perform. In project management terms, the project managers sitting outside of the PMO will perform, while the PMO team will govern, oversee, and support. The project management framework is governed by a body called the Nawah Program Review Board. It is chaired by the Chief Executive Officer, and all C-level executives and vice presidents of the organization are quorum members of it. The PMO manager is its secretary. It meets on a monthly basis to review the current status of the project portfolio and provide direction as to which project realize their benefits and which project to start, stop, accelerate, or defer in alignment with its strategic plan. As mentioned earlier, change management is also of paramount importance in Nawah. The PMO is the custodian of the enterprise change management process. It is governed by a body called the Change Management Review Committee. It is chaired by PMO, and some critical functions like quality assurance, organizational effectiveness, plant operations, human capital, information and communication technologies, licensing, and nuclear oversight are quorum members of the committee. They ensure that all aspects of a change are properly assessed and understood prior to any recommendation. They meet on a monthly basis and they review the change initiation documents. Ultimately, they recommend which changes should be implemented business as usual and which ones warrant the initiation of a project. Knowledge management and lesson learned is a major element of the nuclear industry. We focus on capturing and collecting project lessons learned at every stage gate concluding a project phase. These lessons learned are all reviewed by the whole PMO team monthly to ensure that the relevant operating experience is made available to the global project management community at any point in time. Capability building is at the core of what we're doing in the PMO in Nawah. Developing project management competencies takes a combination of training, cultural reinforcement of skills learned in training, and an open environment that offers support, collaboration, and mentoring. While project management training is critical to teaching project managers how to better plan and manage key initiatives, this alone isn't enough to ensure a workforce with a high level of project management competency. We have set up a unique syllabus called EMAD. EMAD is an acronym that stands for Establish, Mentor, Assess, and Deliver. This strong framework for project management capability building is fully aligned to our tiered approach of projects, and it has been perfected since 2014. Through the implementation of this program, Nawah has become a PMI registered education provider. This helps us ensure that project management framework is well understood and widely adopted across the organization. Based on existing competencies framework like the PMI Project Manager Competency Framework and a thorough self-assessment of all the lessons learned from all the past projects in our organization, we have defined our own periodic table of competencies, where every competency is introduced for the first time in one of the project tiers and is then further elaborated in subsequent tiers. We built into each competency a set of performance criteria associated with an expected level of performance in bronze, in silver, and in gold. Our curriculum now contains 6 different modules: bronze, silver, and gold, of course, plus a 2-hour module called Lifecycle Documents that focuses only on the implementing procedures and associated templates. This allows us to refresh our practitioners' knowledge without having to enroll them in a much longer training. We also developed a 1-day module dedicated to our executives, members of the NPRB, or project sponsors. And our latest addition to the program is a 6 days PMP exam preparation course. Through all this amazing service offering, the PMO has contributed significantly to the maturity of Nawah as an organization. Since we exist, we have initiated 162 projects, closed 98 projects, controlled a portfolio of more than $100 million of work, processed 273 project requests for changes, held 71 NPRB meetings, trained and certified 202 project management personnel, and performed 10 self-assessments to ensure that we continuously measure the effectiveness, efficiency, and adherence of our processes. In terms of controls, our KPI have become stricter year after year to force an increase of organizational project management maturity. While some other industry might flag a project as green unless it is amber, unless it is red, it is common in the nuclear industry to adopt a conservative approach. We do flag our projects red unless they are amber, unless they are green. It makes a massive difference. We then communicate our KPIs weekly to the organization through the distribution of an updated huddle board that is used in our PMO weekly meeting for discussion. Going forward, our axis of development revolves around 3 key points. Improved project management knowledge across the enterprise. We aim at increasing the enterprise-wide understanding of project management with a minimum of 2 employees per function trained in project management. We set an ambitious target of 70% of the functions trained and qualified, and we have already reached an astonishing 42% by the end of Q1 2019. This has been elevated by our Chief Executive Officer as a strategic initiative in the business plan. An improved output of governance and control. One of our biggest challenges continues to be the adherence to project governance, so we will need to continue the lobbying work around the community of practice to ensure that project governance is well understood and followed by the entire organization. More work is also needed to ensure that project documentation is created, reviewed, approved, and maintained efficiently, and that project managers are comprehensively reporting monthly on project progress. The monthly project report will need to display earned value management information to support a more efficient, fact-based decision-making process. An increased awareness of knowledge management across the business. With the Nuclear Performance Improvement Division, we will implement sustainable initiatives to enhance the visibility of knowledge management in Nawah through newsletters, intranet portals, structured knowledge cafes, and a Nawah knowledge management guideline. We will continue leading the periodic review of collected project lessons learned for positive and negative trends so that we can evaluate improvement in the project management practices or any need to escalate a resolution for repetitive negative practices. Those 3 points will be supported by the implementation of a project and portfolio management solution, for which we have already started the works with our RCT division to deploy the SAP modules that would complement the ERP already in use in all other divisions. We hope that in the coming 2 years, we will continue to demonstrate the value add of the project management disciplines and, through our efforts, contribute to protecting the core. Thank you very much.